Hello, Esther. Indeed, thank you very much for having me. Like you said, a lot of these African heads of state have a common theme. They're talking about the reforms at the United Nations, particularly at the UN Security Council, where they say that decisions are made that affect Africans. However, Africans are not at the table to contribute to decisions that are made that directly impacts them. They are also calling on the international community to put their money where their mouth is, particularly wealthier nations who they said contribute significantly to conditions that affect climate change. Africa, they argue, bears the brunt of the impact of climate. They want them to be more engaging. They want to put money instead of pledges. They want more commitment to enable these African countries that bear the brunt of the climate crisis in order to cushion the effect on their people. Thirdly, they also want the war in Ukraine to be resolved because the impact it's having, the supply chain issues, skyrocketing prices of goods and services, high inflation is impacting and it's making it difficult for them to come up with solutions in order to improve the living conditions of their people. And their people are becoming restless. Public sector workers, private sector workers are all agitating for more money because the pay they receive at the moment, they argue, seem not to be enough because of soaring food prices. So these are the common themes being expressed here at the UN.
Peter, when coming to the studio, I learned from your producer that you have spoken to the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. What did you learn?
Well, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Madam Patricia Scotland, was very expressive by calling on wealthier nations to also put money on the climate crisis. She made it clear that some members of the Commonwealth who are, island nations could be wiped off their mouth because of the climate crisis that we face now. There was also a meeting of foreign ministers of the Commonwealth who are sharing experiences. What they are doing is that when one nation puts money on a development project, they share the experiences with others. So the other when one person or one nation spends $1, other nations don't have to necessarily spend that dollar to do the research because one member state has done it. So they share experience in order for them to progress. And, she also spoke about other non-traditional Commonwealth nations who have applied to be members of the Commonwealth. So these are some of the issues that are coming up here that I spoke with the Commonwealth about. And our audience will be having a look at what the madam said.
Peter, very briefly, you've spoken to so many leaders from Africa. What really resonated with most of them out of the United Nations General Assembly?
I'll give you an example. I had the opportunity of interacting with the president of the DRC, President Felix Tshisekedi. I asked him about whether the elections of 2023, December, would occur at all because people are expressing skepticism about the credibility and worrying about the lack of transparency with the compilation of the voter list or the voter register that will be used. He made the promise to his compatriots and international partners that the elections will proceed. However, he called on the international community to put additional sanctions on neighboring Rwanda because he felt that Rwanda is not helping with the M23 situation with part of the atrocities he said being committed by the M23 in the country's east. So these are some of the things that the president of DRC talked about. And of course, the Ghanaian president was also talking about reparations and that those who benefited from slavery should need to pay some money. All right, so these are some of the things, and I hope to bring you more as the week comes along.